All right, Mike. We'll play through our opener song there, and then we'll bring you on.
Boys, have a little fun with it. Get your tan on for all my real concrete finishers. How you feeling, Glenn? I see you, Chumpy. Well, it's a hot summer day in my pickup truck, cruising to the job, about to jack shit up. Pop the tailgate, grab my float and my boots. Truck pulls up, throw on the shoots. I'll take a 5 slump, Uncle Ricky mix it up. Get her in quick, smoke it in the truck and get back out. Put the boat float down. I'm the king of concrete, but ain't wearing no crown. Concrete, walk foot in the mud, just getting done for concrete. With my float and my trowel and a big old smile. That's the way we was born and raised. We ain't afraid to stay concrete. American concrete. Call me up, where you at? I'm a man down, can you get my back? I said, hell yeah, cause you know I'm on my way. It's a man's world and we gotta get paid. We drink whiskey and get frisky. Live life on the edge and do everything risky. Forearms big from scrubbing the mud. Red flannel on and a pair of black mugs. Concrete, walk foot in the mud, just getting her done. We pour concrete out the hose of a pump or the back of the truck. That's the way we was born and raised. We ain't afraid to stay concrete. American concrete. Making concrete great again, boys. Now watch this drive.
All right. I like that song. Don't you guys? It's awesome. I've been listening to that in the morning before I get ready to pour. Awesome song. All right. Let's bring on Mr. Mike. Let's see. Here we go. All right, Mike. We'll bring on Mike Griffin. Flip my camera around here. Get this set up. Sorry about this, gentlemen. All right, we're going to bring on Mike as soon as it allows him. Checking out my tore up palms and hands. We should have a injury of the week. Everybody post your injuries because we all got them, right? AJ is always tearing up his hands. He's notorious for ruining his hands. All right, let's see. I'm not letting Mike come in here. We're trying to add Mike in here. Mike Griffin. Sorry, guys. Sorry to keep covering the camera like that. Is it working there, Mike? Should just approve. Yep. Keep an eye open for t-shirts in the very near future, right? Everybody's been wanting t-shirts. T-shirts we can wear to the World of Concrete when we go. When is that? Who's got the date for World of Concrete? Somebody comment the date for World of Concrete so we can share that. Comment where you're staying if you're going to go to World of Concrete. If you've already set your... Okay. All right, Mike. I'll send it again, man. Let me see. Is anybody set? Oh, it's not letting me bring you in. January 22nd. Thank you, AJ. Who's going to World of Concrete? Who's already booked hotels and such? Who's going? If you do, then you are obligated to buy a concrete everything share your knowledge t-shirt in the very near future, so make sure to stay tuned for when that's about to happen. Here we go. Mike, add. Let's see if we can bring. Hey, there we go. Guys, Mr. Mike, one of the great books of wisdom on the site. How you doing, Mike?
Doing good. Can you hear me?
I'm not getting any. I can't hear any noise here. Let me see. Here, talk, Mike. Can you hear me? Try now.
Yep. Can you hear me?
Nah, I can got it. Good to go. It was my end. My bad. Cubs fan. Are you Cubs fan, or is that just a pajama shirt?
Oh, I'm a Cubs fan.
That's my guy. Been a Cubs fan since I was a little boy, right? We had season tickets to Wrigley, so
Yep.
yeah, man, awesome. Good news. Right on, Mike. So you want to tell us who you are? Those of you who don't know who you are, what's your role in the concrete world?
Uh, I am Mike Griffin. My role is I am foreman and working foreman for the city of Springfield.
Right on. So you guys are doing a lot of city sidewalks and approaches and such like that?
If it's on city property, we do it, and that's
Right on.
literally I do all broom work. It's all outside work. I haven't
Yep.
touched a trowel in years unless it's on the side.
Right on, man. So how long you been there?
I have been there since 1988.
No kidding.
Been a long time.
Man,
So it's
either
been over
they're
30
really good to you or you're just a really loyal person.
years.
Or
Well,
both.
probably both.
There
Yeah.
you go. There you go. So what was before that? What brought you into that?
Well, I started the union in '86. Worked for my dad. He's a fourth generation finisher contractor. Uh, I just happened to get in. I went to a year college. Got on with the dad. He told me no, finish college. So I went and talked to my mom, who's the boss, and she told my dad, get that kid working. And so I started there, and that was about it. Never left. Just kept doing it.
Awesome. Awesome. So how old are you?
I'm 51 right now, 51 and a half.
51 and a half. You're not close to 52 though. You're
No,
closer to 51.
51 and a half.
You're only as old as you feel, right? You're still out there,
Still
still
young.
getting up every morning.
Yeah.
Awesome. So schooling, any schooling classes? What's
That's fine. I've never done ACI. I had a conversation with Mike Murray about it, and that's something that's going to happen this year.
right
So
on?
I'm really doing it, and I've already started. I should just go in there and take it, but I don't want to embarrass myself, so I'm going to study a little bit, and I don't mind reading. And I'm in my own niche of the work I do. When you get into big buildings and stuff like that, I'm not real familiar with that. AJ's got a ton
Right.
of knowledge in everything. A lot of these guys stamp work, they got all that stuff. That's not my angle. I mean, I call my work boring, but I enjoy it, so it's not boring.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I mean, I got my stuff down, no problems.
Heck yeah, man. And then that's part of it. Some guys want to do it all. Some guys want to
Yeah,
focus on something. And if you're not doing decorative work and you're not doing, high rises or skyscrapers, then why obtain that knowledge?
if you're doing like ADA stuff, you need codes and regulations. I'm your guy. That's what I do. And we
Yep.
started early on when they brought that stuff out, and that's mainly what I do. And yeah, I hate to throw this out there, but I mean, I got inspectors. They come to me for questions. So, you know, it is what
Heck
it is.
yeah. So now you a finger pointer now, or are you out there, are you pulling mud?
No, I mean, I finger point, but I'm a working foreman. I don't ask anybody to do anything that I don't do. I've been running the crew since I was 25,
Mhm.
so I got a lot of experience in running the crew, and we're pretty lucky. I keep the same guys. We might rotate guys, but the current guys I got now, they've been with me 10 and 15 years, and one with 5. And the laborers before that were both with me for about 10 years. And I haven't went through a lot of guys over the years. I mean, they move on, they get promotions, they move on.
It says a lot about you, and it says a lot about the place you
Yeah,
work. So, yep,
yeah. I mean, you know, yeah. I've been pretty fortunate with the guys I work with.
right on, right on.
And,
So, one of the big arguments we always see on the site is steel or no steel. You're obviously doing a lot of exterior work, and I know what ACI says, but what's
yeah,
your opinion?
I don't use trowels on anything. I just don't do it. A lot of people, they can tell me we do it all the time, but in my job, I can't afford to. I'm not going to lose a job. If it happens to flake off and stuff like that, I'm not going to be
Right.
blamed for that. We tore a job out last year. We poured about a little bitty thing. It's probably about 50 foot, maybe 60 foot of V-pan in front of somebody's driveway. And old guy, he was 85 years old. And he's like, "Are you going to fix the puddle?" Blah, blah, blah. "Yeah, we're going to take it." He said, "It's a 4-inch puddle." And I said, "We're going to take care of it. Don't worry about it." And then as I go start setting it up, and I realized it's not falling the right way. And the guy's like, "Are you pouring today?" I said, "I don't think so." I said, "This looks to me like it's still going to hold water." And he's like, "How much water?" I said, "Probably a half inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch is what I'm looking at." "I want it done." I said, because I told him, I said, "You're going to have to wait. They're going to tear it out again." And I said, "You should get back to it within about 5 days." And, you should never listen to the resident, especially when I work for the city. And
Right.
pour it, pour it, pour it. And I'm like, "Okay." I said, "You're okay with a little bitty puddle?" "Yeah, I'm good." We poured it, and I went back, and it was the rain season. So it's maybe a couple years ago. It's probably about 3 years ago. And we poured it. And next day I go through the rain. I'm like, I can see where it's kind of widened out. I was like, I know water. And I told him it would. And the next day it wasn't raining. I got a call from one of the bosses. He said, there's a 4-inch puddle in there. I said, "There's no way in hell." And anyway, it was 4 inches wide, and it was about a 3/4 puddle, and that guy was freaking out. And we ended up
Uh-huh.
taking it out. I couldn't believe it. We had to take back some of the high point out to get it to drain. It was draining the wrong way. But anyway, I had a guy giving me some crap, by the finisher. It doesn't happen very often. I said, "We've tore out 2 jobs in the 30 years I've been here." And
That's pretty good.
yeah, that's what I said. I started crunching numbers. Like, "Oh, that's like one out every 15,000, because we do a lot of jobs each day."
That's pretty good.
I don't know. We,
I don't
I
know if I can make that same claim. I've had to learn the wrong way, right?
yeah,
Jeez, that's awesome.
I was going off on the steel trowel thing. I just don't want to take a chance on any of our outside work. We want
I
to.
totally get it. I totally get it. When it comes down to it for me, when if you have to go to court for something, they're going to ask for some schooling type documentation as to what they say. So I'm always going to when I have a question, I'm always going to revert back to what ACI says.
Yeah,
And no, I've never taken the courses either, but some of my best friends through the years have, and I've looked through the books, and not to say I know any of it, but I know some things that can save my butt. So,
yeah. We don't pour wet concrete, and
hmm,
we try to keep up with the way you're supposed to do it right. My name's on all the
awesome.
jobs.
Yeah, Ben saying that it's one of the biggest controversies in the industry, whether to hard trial or not. Now I know Ben, he uses his funny trial a lot. They do a lot of big slabs and driveways, and he's a master with that funny trial. Or what do you guys call that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. We don't do the funny trowel, but I got something similar to that. We use as I call it, a slicker. Basically, it's a float on handles, and it doesn't have the same whip motion as the trowel does, but we use that to reach out. It saves us from. We're getting old now. We don't want to get out on our knee boards if we don't have to. So we can stretch that out usually 20, 30 feet if we need to, and we use the slicker a lot. We'll mop and broom, and I see some of these younger guys, and I think what they do, they're putting out some excellent, excellent work. But for us, we want to get in and out. You can make things look good on two hits.
Right.
We get it in, we open the joints up, we hit it one more time, we're done. We're ready to broom, and we're moving on to the next job. So we try to get in and get out. We usually knock. It depends on us. I mean, we're the city. We've done 5-foot squares obviously all the time, but we knock out some big jobs, and I don't have time to sit around on all these jobs. Last week was our small pour day. We were knocking out anywhere from 5-footers to 20-footers to drive approaches, and we probably knocked out 12 jobs that day. So we're just getting in and out. It's a little 4-man crew, and somebody's got to do it. So we do
Absolutely.
it. I
For
enjoy
sure.
the big jobs much more because when you get done, you can see that you've actually made a difference. So I really
Absolutely.
enjoy the big jobs.
Tell me more about this slicker. So I want to know more about that. Explain that to me a little more. So it's like a hand float. It's
It,
basically a funny trial, but a hand float version.
it's not. It's almost the same concept as a funny trial. You don't work it with a whip. You don't go back and forth to seal stuff. It's more of a mopping motion. What's different,
Okay.
if it's sitting like this, you can change the angle to like this. A little bit different angle, and you can use it to push forward, back, and you can lock
So
it.
it's got a tilt head on it,
Got a
or
tilt head on it. You can use it as a swivel. There's a lot of. I mean, when we went and got 2 years ago, we went and got it, and I had seen. I was like, man, I was looking at the funny trial. I was like, man, I wish we had that, except with the float. And then I seen
Right.
it. Somebody was talking about it, so I was like, man, I really like that. And I went into one of our places we buy our equipment, and I was like, they do have one. And I couldn't believe it. And as I was looking at it, a guy walked up right in front of me, runs one of the bigger outfits in town. He picked up, there was only 3 there, and he picked up 2 of them. I was like, oh, have you used this? He said, man, I got it for the crew last week, and they said, get 2 more. I was like, really? They really like it? He's like, yeah. So we ended up, I got one, and man, I love that thing. Literally, we'll mop, and we take our marks out. When we join, we just take our marks out with that. We're not jumping on that slab anymore, and
heck yeah.
it's
I'm gonna have to check that out. You have to send me a picture of it or a link or post it on the page because I'm sure everybody else will be just as curious. So I want to see what that is.
Even if you're not using column film or day one or anything, you just it takes your marks out. It doesn't have the weight of a mop, but it's got more.
Right.
It's way more agility. It'll get around, and you can whip it around or whatever you need to do.
Now, does it have handles on it? Handles, or is it? It's just a pole.
Clip-on handles, poles, whatever you want to call them.
Right.
I think I've had 4 on there at one time, but it's not as heavy as a mop.
Right.
I'll post.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yep.
I'll definitely check those out for sure.
Yep.
So okay, let's talk about your worst job. That's always my favorite topic. The one that in your mind when you drive by and you see it, you just kind of, or if you think back on it, there's always got to be that job.
Well, I don't know if I have a worst job. I mean, also we don't.
Hey,
we don't have a lot of worst jobs. I mean, we get our shit in there, we get it done right. I'd say the only worst job I would think of is the 2 that I ever tore out. One of them we were replacing. It was about 500 or 600 foot of curb and sidewalks all through this block, and it was a historic site. They wanted to save the brick, and it was an important job for them. And this is the only other one it was fully my fault. We were down about the last. Everything was done. We were down about the last 100 foot of curb, and the casting's got a 6-inch opening, and for some reason that damn casting had about a 3-inch steel on top of that, and I measured down from the top of the steel and lost 3 inches of flow instead of going to the bottom of the inlet where the riser ring is, and we ended up tearing about 50 foot of curb out or something like that. But I caught hell on that one too. Yeah, that's probably the worst I've had. I mean, we don't have we just get in and get out and get them done right.
Awesome.
Do the best we can, and I go home happy, and that's it. And City,
It's the way to be.
City's happy.
What are you guys using for mud? What's your typical mud you're pouring? So.
Yeah, in streets, anything streets, we do I call it 7.8 mix or PP2 or Class X mix. We want to have a little bit stronger concrete. Anything, drive approaches, sidewalks. The weakest concrete we'll go is 4,000.
Right on. Right on. Curbs, you doing a lot of curbs?
We do a lot of curb every once in a while.
Hand shape, or you foreman, or what's your process?
We do it both.
Both. Awesome.
Some of the photos and videos in the group. I've posted quite a bit of work. I
Yeah.
mean, we take pride in work. It's pretty clean.
Yep. I agree. I have seen it. I'm just asking about it to get it on video. But
Yeah,
yeah,
we got some trade.
everything you've ever posted is
Yeah,
crisp. That's my word. That's the best way I can describe it. It's crisp.
if you're using forms, I'll give you a couple quick tips. If you're using forms and you set your back shit like this, you always want to offset your face forms, because if you set forms like this and you set your face form right here also, that will buckle. So if you take your back form like this and offset the face of the cross, there's less buckle. That's a little tip on the video here on the live cast.
Right on.
That's a good way.
That's why we're here, right?
That's a good way to keep your curb from having some whoopties in it.
Right
Uh,
on. And no.
we're all about using jigs for everything. I use a jig for everything. We jig our pans, we jig our V pans, we jig flow lines. I don't even use, I use I asked one day in the group who's got the eagle eye, who can see level. So I don't know the last time I've had to transit. We just set string lines. It's like setting for a curb machine. You set it in there, and then you get back and you eyeball it, and you're good to go. And then, in fact, I had
Heck
a guy.
yeah.
Here's a funny story. I had a
Right
guy.
on.
We were doing some curb, and I said, "That's good to go." And he started getting a level out. I said, "What the fuck are you doing?" He said, "Well, I'm going to check it." I said, "I just told you it's good." And there was a little argument on the crew and some broken tools. And I said, "Dude, it's good. I told you it's good." And it was good.
Yep.
I'm checking my stuff.
I've been doing this long enough to understand, right?
Yeah, that was actually a pretty funny moment at the time. We laugh about it now. It wasn't funny then, but it was pretty funny.
Right on. You guys sealing? You guys doing cure and seal, or you just leave it open?
We cure and seal everything, solvent base
Awesome.
throughout the summer. We probably got a little bit more time. We'll keep doing it. We'll quit doing that, and we didn't seal for a long time, but especially with us using a little bit stronger mix, we haven't had any problem. We don't. The tops are fine, man. We don't have problems, and all my work gets salt put on it.
Yep.
So if you use a little bit stronger mix, honestly, and you don't overwork the top, you don't trial the top, we don't have any problems. We don't.
Awesome.
And I have to go back and look at my jobs. I can't go a half a block in this town without seeing something I've done. So I see
Right.
a lot of these people, if they're talking about never had a problem, do you look at it all the time? Because I got to drive by mine all the time. So, you're not looking at
Heck
those
yeah.
back patios you trial, and I don't want to cause no problems with nobody, but you got to do what you think's right.
Of course. Of course. Excuse me. So you'd mentioned Confilm and Day One. Do you guys use that? Is that a typical?
Yeah, you know what? And we didn't. I'm an old school guy. I've been doing it for a while, so we weren't. And quite frankly, I wasn't exposed to that stuff. I was in my
Right.
own world. I show up, do my job, and then really the concrete mix have changed. They set up fast now. There's no joking about it. And we started, just from the site. And I'm going to touch on the site real quick. This site has really opened my eyes about looking and learning and just having an open mind. Listen to what everybody's saying on here. You don't have to agree with everything, but at least have an open mind and listen to what they're saying. And it does help. So anyway, with the Confilm, people are talking. I'm like, man, I've never used I really I've never needed to.
Right.
And then we started getting into some. I got a small crew again. I got me, one other finisher, 2 laborers, and we're starting to drop. And it's say it's 80, 90 out, and they keep wanting it open the next day. Hey, can you pour the 7-bag mix or whatever Class X, and we can throw calcium in it and this and that. I'm like, there's 4 of us. That shit blows up. I started thinking, you know what? I'm gonna try this Confilm. And a funny story is, I said, just go. I had a brand new labor one day. They were just filling in. And I was like, it was real windy out, and I was by myself. It was me and somebody who had never worked before, and this shit was blowing up. I said, just go get it. I asked them to go get a gallon of Confilm, and then I came back with 5 gallons, which you mix. So I ended up getting a lot.
A lot.
We're spoiled now. I mean, we used it all summer, and it's just been a game changer for us. If it's the service is dehydrating, whatever, we we strike it off, we mop it, and then we throw it on there, and it's changed everything for us. Those jobs that we used to struggle with and be sweating real hard and panicking, and, oh my God, this shit's blowing up, go, go, go.
Right.
And we don't have that no more. The Confilm has changed everything for us. So that's why I say on this site, you really got to have an open mind and listen to what these people are saying. I don't have to agree with anything Joe Blow says, but
Right.
because he's going to say something that I'm really going to like. So,
Yep.
and
That's it. You're so right. There's so many different views on all different aspects of this trade, right? And
yeah,
man, you
and
look at it from different
I'm not
angles. It's
afraid to
great.
listen to anybody. I don't care where you're from, union, non-union. I don't care anything. I don't care. If you got something that's going to help me out, I'm listening.
I agree. I agree. I tell you, if the worst thing that we're going to bust each other's balls about on this site is what we call other tools, then we're doing pretty good, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's the biggest argument. Of course, AJ thinks he frames everything and some form everything, but that's good. That's good busting balls, right? We're not
Yeah.
criticizing.
I try to stay away from that. I let them guys do it.
It's not. It doesn't bring any good. We're all going to do it our own way anyway. So, like
Yeah.
you said, you got to have an open mind and pick up things when they come along that's
Oh yeah.
pertinent to what you're doing.
Oh yeah.
Heck yeah, heck yeah. So, so you've been in the trades most of your life, then, right? So most of your
Uh,
working life.
yeah. Uh, my last name's Griffin. I guess our family claim to fame is I'm fourth generation, so it would be my father's grandfather. He was actually a charter member of the union. I don't know. I think it's in our area, not necessarily Illinois, but he was one of the, when you start the union, you got to have 10 people sign the charter or 20 people, whatever it was. And he was one of the originals that signed the charter to start the union in our area.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm fourth generation now. I had two brothers do it. My dad, oh my God, two more uncles, grandpas and grandpas, and so it's been in our family. And when I started doing this, it was just real natural.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
I came
Same
in,
boat. Same. I can relate.
yeah, a couple things that my union won't like, but when I came in, they were putting in my dad was a contractor, so he was putting in a big job, and at the time he had, I don't know, 20 25 guys going in. He had about 11 finishers, and he called them up and told me he wanted to put his kid to work, and they told him no. He said, "Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. We'll just listen to you, and I'll lay off 5 finishers, or we can bring my kid on and let him blend in, and I'll just keep everybody working." And that's how I kind of got pushed in, because it was back in the mid '80s, and it was
Right.
starting. Unions were starting to get hit a little bit hard. It was starting to get rough. But so he kind of kicked the door in for me and got me on the job site. And so that's
Heck
it.
yeah, that's a pretty good story right there. I like that one. Listen, he's coming to help or we're done. I like it.
Yeah,
I
and
like it.
when the experience I had, my dad, he had, each year the cities have sidewalk programs, and he had the city, our cities. He ran the city sidewalk program as a contractor for about 10 years. And so when I was working through my dad through the summers, all I did was the city work. We were doing the city sidewalk program for about 4 or 5 months out of the year, and I just happened to get a call, probably in '88. So it's just I'd only been doing it for a couple years, so I had a couple years experience on the city work. In '88, the the business agent called me up and said, "Hey, I got a job that's probably for 2 weeks," and I was like, he said, "But there's a catch." He goes, "I got to tell you this because 2 people have turned it down." He said, "There's a catch. You won't get paid when you get laid off." He said they got a certain pay cycle. Normally when you work out of the hall, you layoff day is payoff day, and with the cycle that they have, there's a good chance that you're going to work 2 weeks and you might have to wait 2 more weeks for your check. The hell, I was a young kid working at home, living at home with my parents, and I was like, hell, I don't care. 2 weeks is 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and I literally went there thinking 2 weeks, and here I am, 32 years. I never left because they had two old finishers there, and my 2 weeks was up, and they're like, "Don't let that kid go," and it was all for me anyway. I mean, so literally, I got called out on a 2 week job, and here I am, 32 years later.
Right
So
on. Right
yeah,
on.
that was.
So yeah, that's
I'm,
awesome.
so fortunate. It's just incredible.
Heck yeah. So what advice would you have for the youngsters now coming up through school? What can we do to help our trade? You think union is a big thing? Look for a union to get into, or just
Man, I'm not. I'm
what?
not. I don't want to. I'll tell you this. I mean, right off the bat, I owe everything to my union. So I'm not gonna. I'm not here to argue union non-union because I have some best friends of mine that are non-union. I'm saying that this is a respectable trade. There's honor in going to work, earning money. I don't care who you work for. I don't care if it's McDonald's. There's honor in going to work, and this new generation needs to realize that you know, go to work, earn some money. You know, and I'll tell you something else that's real important uh, for these guys with these jobs. You really want to have a pension established. You know, I've mentioned before the contract. I give big props to these people that are offering 401ks that are matching or anything, but you know, you don't want to turn 65 years old and only have Social Security. You really need to, if they're not establishing a pension for you, you need to start putting money in towards your pension. I'm getting up there to 55 or 65, whatever these people are going to be drawing some retirement money or pension money. Extremely important to set some money aside and don't count on just Social Security because you'll be living on beans and rice.
Man, that's some good advice. That's advice that I even need to take heed a little more too. But especially for some of you young guys that he said, your company's not doing it for you. That's
Yeah,
some good advice
and
right
I
there.
understand that's out there. A lot of companies, a lot of more companies than you realize are not. And maybe but you know, when you apply for that job, that's the perks of the job, or it's not the perks of the job. If you don't like that, then don't work there. There's
Hmm.
other opportunities, and if you do like that job and you want to stay there, you just have to put some money in on the side. You have to do it. Don't put it all on your employer. You
Right.
really.
Awesome. Good advice, man. Awesome advice. So new guys coming in, they've already made the decision. They've seen concrete work, whatever. They know.
Just
How
yeah,
do
you just
they
got,
excel in this field?
AJ, how he pushes the wrestler. I was a wrestler the year in college. You really have to be, these new guys coming in. If you don't have that, where you've had to fight and sweat and not give up, then it's really something. Maybe it ain't cut out for everybody, but
Right.
just gotta don't give up. These new guys, it might be a cakewalk today and tomorrow, and you got a big check this week. Well, maybe next week you only work a day or two, whatever, and it's going to be a bitch. So you better learn that not every day's easy, but not every day's hard.
Hmm.
So you'll get there with the experience. You're going to get much better. You're going to make things easier on yourself with experience. Not every day is going to be a dogfight. As you get older and you get more experience, you learn more tips and tricks. You're going to learn. Or when you start running a crew, I learned from amazing guys, and some of them never taught me the right way. Never ever taught me the right way, and I would like, what the hell are you doing? But then all of a sudden, I got into a pinch and I'm like, oh yeah, well we can use this tree root here. We can use this aluminum can, or we can take the we don't have no more nails. Concrete's on the way. So you happen to have a drill. You take some wire and you spin that wire so fucking tight that you can drive a nail with it. I mean, there's little things you can do. You're gonna pick some stuff up and just put it all in your back pocket, and it's just knowledge gained. And you know,
Just keep doing it. Just keep doing
experience
it.
is big, man. It is.
Yep.
You learn a lot of
Yep.
little tips and tricks.
Awesome. 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 Good story. So yeah, awesome, man. I love it. I love your story. I love talking, to fellow finishers, concrete
Yeah,
guys, especially guys who've been in it, all their life, second, third generation, fourth generation
of course.
guys. So
Yep.
that's
You want
awesome.
me to touch real quick on what we got going on in the campaign?
Please do. Please do. Listen up, t-shirt information, gentlemen.
Uh, I mean, I can't give a whole lot of deals. Nothing is
Nope.
100.
To give them
It,
something to listen for next week, right?
yeah, I'm gonna give you something. I'm gonna bank something here. It's 100%. It's happening. We got a lot of people working behind the scenes. We really hope to finalize it. And I said this ain't 100%. We're wanting to have everything finalized within the end of this week and get it open as quick as possible. There's going to be more than just shirts. Let's just say that. There's going to be a lot of varieties, colors. It's happening. It's going to happen real quick. So, And we threw in hot pink for the girls last week. We got kids sizes. It's going to be, something important about that is it's not just we're selling some shirts. Basically, what's going to happen is we're going to open a store. It's going to be the Concrete Everything store, and it's only going to be open for we haven't picked a number yet. 15, 20 days is what I'm guessing. At the end, you have to order within that 15 to 20 days. If you don't get ordered, you will not get anything. So we're going to have about a 20-day window, and the store will close. And what happens is the company we're going with, that's when they print the shirts. When the stores close, because if we kept this going all year round, and then 3 months from now somebody wants one T-shirt, they're busy. They're dealing with orders, not one T-shirt.
Right.
When this store closes, then they will print all the apparel that we're going to have available, and it will be sent out within they said 7 to 10 days. So
Perfect.
I'd say when the store closes, expect your stuff within 2 weeks. Something else I'm going to throw out there: extremely affordable. I don't want to put a number on what they told me, but way less than I thought. Quality products. It's
Awesome.
Good. I'm excited.
Awesome. I know people are going to question, maybe this is something for next time, but there's going to be obviously a little proceed, maybe, if profits, because people are going to want to know, or are we just getting them super cheap and there are no profits? Or
I tell you what we did. This is what I've talked about. And this ain't 100%, but this part I'm saying right now is 100%. We're doing it no profit. I asked them for bottom dollar price. Don't quote me on this number. They're saying $10 a shirt.
wow.
Everything $10 a shirt, and there's other things going to happen. Bottom dollar, there's going to be no profit. But we had talked about we've got a page behind the scene where some of us communicate, a lot of us communicate about the admins and mods do, and we're going to try to put a link to a site that we have, and it's going to be a pop-up link. So when people pay for their shirts, it's a chance for people to donate to a concrete charity. I don't want to say it right yet because
We don't know yet.
Because nothing's 100% until it happens. But
Right.
That's the plan. We do want
Awesome.
to make some donations if people would like to.
Perfect. I love it. I love it. I'm super excited. I know the idea has been tossed around quite a bit, and it's awesome that it's finally, taking shape. So,
Yep.
heck yeah. Pretty excited about it. So in that, guys, make sure you stay tuned. Keep an eye out when you see that little icon up there that says somebody said something or commented on the Concrete Everything Share Your Knowledge page. Make sure you go find out what's new. Keep up with what's happening. There's a lot of awesome information on this page, guys. Yep. Awesome, Mike. Anything else you want to throw in there?
Nope, I'm good, man.
Cool, man. It was good talking to you. I'm sure we'll talk again in the near future, but keep up what you're doing behind the scenes. And it's awesome.
Okay, man.
Right on, man. All right, guys. We'll see you next week, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
All right, man.